Notts County Talk, episode 1 of the Pavis Perspective podcast.
Episode what? Episode 1?
Episode 21. That's what I
You said 1, mate.
meant, 21. We're doing another giveaway tonight. We've got one of these. Tom, why are we doing another giveaway tonight?
Yeah, so obviously last week we did the giveaway, a final mug. It's literally the last mug we had. And it appeared, we sort of knew, didn't we? And you guys told us that we had a winner that was like a YouTube bot, someone that goes in and tries to win giveaways. But just to be sure it wasn't, we had to give that person a week to claim it. I mean, if in case it wasn't a bot, but yeah, it was. And the giveaway will be happening. So I'm going to reveal early on today what the giveaway hashtag is. And remember, you have a week to contact us. So Twitter, Instagram are the best way to contact us. Tonight's hashtag to be entered, hashtag cuppa. That is what you need to put in the chat, and you'll be entered. And I thought we had some entries. We just got people saying hello. Yeah, so thank you for joining us. We've got so much to talk about. Also, our question in the chat today, George, if you have a car, and if you don't have a car, would you do it? But
the votes are it's pretty obvious who's gonna, lose this one, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Do you pour hot water on your windscreen?
You just cannot do that.
Especially if you're in a rush. I mean, I think you can tell by our actions which one of us does this, but yeah. We'll start the show off with a really sensible comment, and I think one that is justified. Let's have a look for that. Chris says, can the mug take excess water off Kings Lynn's pitch? Honestly, it's one scoop, you've probably sorted the pitch.
I'm going to try and go to Kings Lynn. And if I do, I'll take my mug just in case.
Yeah. Spot on. There you go.
Plenty to talk about tonight, though, isn't there, Tom?
Yeah,
a lot has happened in the last week or so.
Let's get on with it. We've sort of set aside the first 45 minutes of this to talk about Phil Parkinson's interview after the Wrexham game. George, did you see it? Did you see his interview?
Stank, didn't it?
That's the word that comes to mind. That interview absolutely just stunk the place out.
It did.
Absolutely. Yeah. We've got to start with Wrexham, George, first of all. Another vlog, another win.
Another vlog, another win. And I just want to say this as well. Like, the support we get for the vlogs is unbelievable. Like, I was looking earlier on today, and it's our first video, the Wrexham vlog, to break 5,000 views, which is a massive achievement for us, really, considering we only have 1,750 subscribers. So me and Tom that was probably one of the targets we're aiming for, sort of at the stage we're at now, to have a video hit 5,000, and it has. We're over the moon with it. So thanks everyone for watching. Thanks to all our followers and subscribers and for the support. But yeah, Wrexham. I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that change the tide of that game, isn't there? I mean, there's the penalty save. There's the penalties, the red cards, all of these things chucked in. You're obviously probably a little bit biased towards Notts, but I don't really think the ref had a bad game, do you?
You know what? We went on, you can get this Twitter space where you can talk after the game. And I was asked if the ref had a bad game, and we sort of said, I don't think he was great. But in the grand scheme of things, in hindsight, I wish I'd have said no. I wish I'd have said I thought he was okay. If you run through the events, it's a penalty and a red card. Yeah. Vincent is a penalty. Eli Sam is bordering on a red, but it's a yellow. It's not a red. And I don't really know what else they can moan about. I mean, I thought the ref was okay. I thought he was actually all right.
There was a few times where I felt like he probably should have gave yellow cards because similar things were happening on the pitch for different players, and they weren't getting yellow cards for the same sort of things. That's the only thing I'd say. But the big decisions, like the penalties, the red cards. I mean, even their penalty was a penalty, like you said. There's no harshness in it from Vincent. It's just unfortunate that behind him, where he's not looking, there's a player coming in to head the ball, and yeah, it's just one of those. But yeah, I don't think the ref was that bad, and I thought we played really well. And they can slate, you're playing against 10 men, but it looked like they sort of went to a 4-4-1, right?
They did.
So defensively doesn't change too much, in my opinion. it maybe helps because of the way we playing out from the back. There's only one person like striker Paul Mullin who can press, but I mean, it changed the game, didn't it? They looked like solid in that first. They get the goal. They looked solid before they got a man sent off. It was going to be a tough afternoon, I think. It obviously makes things easier, but I don't think it made them massively easier. I thought they were still decent,
But let's
we
not
still
forget
had to,
as well.
we still had to put it on them.
Let's not forget we passed through them in about 3 or 4 passes with Fakara Mitchell that should make it 1-1 if it's not handball on the line. That's still with 11 men. It's 1-1 with 11 men. It's the first attack we had really, and we passed through them. But I don't know. I think I agree with everything you're saying. They look decent. What I will say is on our vlog and on our videos, we gave Wrexham fans credit when credit was due. They made a lot of noise. It was a good atmosphere, but we genuinely have never had as many views from opposition fans on our videos.
Yeah,
that was just bitter. And it improves things like rivalries and things. And social media has done that. If there was no social media, we wouldn't have these little spats with Torquay and people like Barrow because they were celebrating in front of the cop. But
never ends well, does it? That again. No. Did you see it? Did you see Tozer?
Yeah. What's he doing?
One idiot. What is he like? His teammates just scored a screamer, and instead of celebrating with him and his fans, he wants to celebrate in front of the car. What a loser! And he's the highest paid. Is he the second highest paid player in the National League?
Yeah, according to
what you doing, mate?
Based on that,
don't do that.
You're talking about celebrating in front of the cop, and it just being a good atmosphere and a good environment to get Medellin. Ian's asked if we saw the vlog from the neutrals in the cop. I don't know if you did, George, but I did see that earlier today on my lunch break. I watched a bit of that. I don't know where they were from. I don't know if it was Cambridge. One of them was from, and they came and got some of the key moments into the game. And it was good feedback on the experience. I mean, he was stood there saying, we've said it before, how is this a non-league stadium, things like that. So, yeah, it's just, it's all positive, isn't it? It's all good publicity for the club. And the way that game went down, could you get any more from that? 2 penalties, a red card, did the ball cross the line? Did the ball cross the line?
Don't really care, to be honest.
I think it did. I think it did,
I hope it did.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you do hope it didn't. People still joining and putting #Cuppa. Most entry we've had so far. So if you do want to win one of those mugs, George, hold it up. Hold that mug up. #Cuppa in the chat. Don't forget the hashtag because some people do.
Sure.
There we go. There's so much to talk about. I could talk about the Wrexham game for the whole episode, to be honest, because it was just so good. And before we go on, I want to highlight some players. I've just seen Chris's comment, and we'll go on to that in a minute. I want to talk about a few players in particular. We didn't have Ruben for that game. Cal didn't start. Jaden Richardson, George, he goes back after the Dover game. To the best of my knowledge.
He might do, yeah.
He has to stay.
Yeah, I was just reading about that. Lee Curtis put a thing out. It wasn't that long ago, actually. I think the press has not been put out yet with Birchnell, has it? For the Dover game. But he's talking about Richardson and that and saying that he does go back after the Dover game and they're in dialogue with Forest to try and extend it. And you know what? I mean, it's another thing you're bound to be biased towards Notts. It's like the way that we work with these loan players, we're recording footage of the game that they're playing in and making little clips of it and then sending it to the parent club and analysing it. And I know Forest have had representatives at every game that Richardson's played anyway. So it's not like we really have to do that, but it seems like a good club to develop like loanees at. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like, yeah, you might be having offers from higher up the pyramid. I mean, who knows how high, because I think he's class. I mean, I don't think he'd look out of place in a League One club at the minute. I mean, you could even say Championship, because I'm sure he's played this season in the Championship. So, yeah, I mean, I can't see any reason for him to not extend the loan, but then I can also understand why Forest maybe want him playing a little bit more competitive higher up the pyramid, you know?
Do you know what I think, though? I think you've got to balance that out with how many games is he going to play.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
For me, however much I like Kelly Evans, there's not a hope in hell that Kelly Evans gets in over Richardson ever.
It's like
Unless
player welfare as well, isn't it? He's from
Yeah.
Nottingham. He's a Nottingham lad. Like, surely it makes sense for him to logistically not have to go too far. It's literally just over the river, isn't it?
And I don't know if it was someone in our Knots group chat or online said, you're not going to get a team at this level that play the football like that we do. People want to put their loanees into Notts County to develop the way we're playing. I know Zach Brunt said it when he joined, and obviously you join a club, you're going to say good things, but he said the style of football playing and is unbelievable. He said it's hard enough to play against Notts with 11 men. Like, we're just that good. Second half, bar the penalty, we toyed with Wrexham, didn't we? Absolutely toyed with them. And just the style of football we play means teams want to give us their players. Jaden Richardson, clearly too good for this league. Connor Parsons, some Wycombe fans wanted him to stay. I'm guessing he had COVID because he wasn't named in the squad at all. But, you know, the way he carries the ball at his feet, he's not a National League player. The same reminds me of Carl Roberts, not a National League player the way he carries the ball at his feet. So, we'll go on to Carl Roberts briefly in a minute, but I just think Richardson has to stay. He offers so much more, and I can't wait to see him play with Joel Taylor at left wing back for those two attacking threats. Saying that, Chickson gets an assist and plays really well. So
it's exciting times. I mean, you're looking at if you can hold on to Richardson, and I seen a little clip that that Richard put up from Not Stats. It was Zach Brunt's through ball to the fullback. Like, just the link up, it's going to be amazing, isn't it? It's just going to be amazing. And let's hope it's for longer than one game.
Yeah, let's hope. Right. We're going to have to get this on. I'm going to have to talk about it. It's already been mentioned by Chris in the chat. Not the biggest fan of Ed Francis. You are, actually, George.
I always have been.
Pioneered for a bit. I'm going to have to use my words here. What a performance. The final thing we'll talk about, the Wrexham game. What a performance. Unbelievable.
Yeah, incredible. Like,
so
I backed him, but I didn't think he had that in his locker. Like, he had everything.
He did. He literally did. And undroppable for the next game.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I don't think you can drop him. You can't drop Vincent. You can't drop Palmer. I know we're playing Dover, but you cannot let your foot off the gas at all, can you?
Like, 100%. So, yeah. Makes you wonder where things are going to sort of fit in, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's a Southend fan joined us. Thank you for joining along. We'll be talking about Zach Brunt very, very shortly. And welcome to everyone. We've got massive numbers tonight. Obviously, that speaks about the positivity around the club. If you haven't already, hashtag Cuppa to be in with a chance of winning the mug. And also, you can
subscribe.
Vote. Yeah, subscribe as well, please. And you can also vote on whether you pour hot water on your windscreen. Did you pour it on this morning? Because someone out of us two did, and you might be able to know who it is. I think Richard Brunley had a great game to say what he went through the night before. Yeah, I actually didn't see that for a while after. So was it Richard Brunley's granddad the night before? Yeah, that's hard. That's you wouldn't have known anything was different on the pitch. He played really well, and I know it's something, but to put that tweet out after the game and the response from the Notts fans, little things like that just it makes you feel united as a club at the minute, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, what a professional to do that. And for those of you that follow him on Instagram, you'll know sort of where his head's at professionally. I don't think you'll get more of a professional at this level. He talks about nutrition a lot and what he does when he's in certain scenarios and stuff like that. And he's a really intelligent pro, isn't he? Brynley is.
Well, can you remember when we did the Rue Rodriguez interview about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we asked him who helped him settle in, and it was Brynley. And he also said whenever he was ill, Richard Brynley would look after him, tell him what to eat, tell him the right nutrition to get in. That counts for a lot, and you can see because not that many Notts players are, but Brynley's never blown at the end of a game. He's never short on stamina. So get some questions in. There's loads coming in the chat. We'll try our best to answer some questions, but there's loads coming in. So we've sort of talked about the players we want to stay. Richardson, Parsons, if possible. Simple yes or no, George, because we're going to talk about our new sign in a second. Ruben Rodriguez, is he going in January?
No,
I agree. I don't think. I don't think Ruben Rodriguez leaves, personally. I think he stays. And that brings on nicely to our new signing, doesn't it? Zach Brunt.
What career he's had?
Go on, talk us through that for people that might not have seen the video earlier.
I watched this video that was not released a few hours ago. Like, what a strange career he's had. Like, in the decisions he was making at such a young age. Like, he was saying at the age of 10, he was asking his dad if he could move to Brazil to play in an academy there because he didn't like the style of football that was in the English academies. Like, a 10-year-old saying that, like that, you got to give him credit for that. And like, some balls he must have to say that. Do you know what I mean? And he does come across really confident. Obviously, he didn't go to Brazil. He ended up going to Spain, where he had interest in the likes of Atletico and Real Madrid. He actually did have a trial at Real Madrid, but he wasn't allowed to play it because he didn't have his paperwork together or whatever it was at the time. But yeah, crazy career. He's been at Man City, so he said he sort of knows Ed Francis a little bit. He's played against Richardson a few times, so he knows Richardson as well. Yeah, just a crazy old career, really. And these are all decisions that he's made at a really young age. Like, he was in Spain when he was 13 and 14. And then he went to Matlock, I think it was, when he was 16 to get some, playing time, plenty of playing time at a proper club. And then he's gone back to to Sheffield United now, and now he's on loan to us. So a crazy career, really. And the decisions that he was making at such a young age shows what kind of person he is. And the way he talks about himself and his character, he seems like a very confident person. He's confident in himself. So, on the pitch and from things we've seen and certain stats that we've seen as well, what he's going to bring to the club. So I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, definitely. Chris says the fact Zach wanted to come to Notts because of the way we played is testament to what we are building at Notts. Sort of links to what we were just saying as well about we play the right kind of football. And people want to send their players to develop with us. If Ian Birchnell can look at what Ian Birchnell has done to some players at this club and how they're playing, really, really good. So it's just positive, massively positive. Now, we were speaking to, before the Southend game, we were speaking to someone from like the local paper at Southend, and we've still been speaking to him. And we asked him if what he thought of Zach Brunt. Basically, he said he was fantastic. You see the people on Twitter, Facebook saying unbelievable, they don't want to let him go. And I've seen a few clips of him. He does look the real deal, to be fair. Like, he does look the real deal. And I said the midfield three will drop. Well, I don't think they will be dropped, but the fact we have a Saturday Tuesday game, I think someone will drop in, and I think it's a good opportunity to get Zach Brunt in the side. Now, Richard from Notts County Stats, who obviously worked closely with me, I saw he put something about smart passes. Smart passes, passes that break the line between the midfield and defence, if I'm correct. Zach Brunt's second on that list, I think, after Ruben Rodriguez. If you play them both in the side, we're going to be
who's third?
Attacking force. It's another Notts player, isn't it? It's Vincent, I think.
Yeah, I think it is Vincent. Yeah.
Why are you testing me? It was like a quiz at school.
That's what I'm here for. It's keep you sharp.
I looked it all up. I got the notes.
This is the thing, though. Like, I've spoke about this before. You look at certain statistics like that. We're all at the top, and now having Zach Brunt, we've got the top three players that can break the lines, and I think that's very important again in the way that we play. And we're sort of edging towards the top of all these sort of intricate statistical leaderboards. And if you're doing that, you're not going to be far off at the end of the season, are you?
They don't lie. They literally don't lie. The stats do not lie. That's why the club are run in a stat-based way. Yeah. Like, I can't think of any stats that don't lie, but I just think
expected scraps.
Expected scraps, that doesn't lie. Dion's expected scraps 10 a game. I'm going to just break off for a little question here. So I'd like to look at what you guys are saying. Would you want Notts to go up automatically or go to Wembley and go up that way?
No, I would. Well, automatic. I don't want to go. I literally cannot go through the playoffs again, even if you win. It's just not good for you.
No, it's not. I'd say automatic.
Imagine lifting the trophy at the Lane.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be really, really good. So that's a decent question. I can see a lot of people saying auto, do it as champions. Another one there. Gary says champions. Ellie says champions. Andrew, automatic. So we've been caught out. Chris has given us a stat that's not very
expected mugs.
Yeah, expected mugs. He haven't won one yet. Chris, this could be your night. This could be your night. Tonight, when we do that draw later on, just after we choose our side, that could be the one. Okay, looking at our next games then, George. Before we address the Cal Roberts situation, Dover away, have to take 3 points. There's no if, buts, or maybes. You go down to 10. We go down to 10 men after 10 minutes. I still want 3 points.
Yeah, it's an interesting one though. I was watching. I don't think it was their manager. I think it was their assistant. After the weekend's game, I can't remember who it was. They played. It doesn't matter anyway. I think it might have been Southend. Dagenham. Dagenham. That was it. Sorry, not even close. He talks very briefly about Notts, and he says that they've been playing better and they are getting there. There's just little things they need to brush up on, being more clinical, X, Y, and Z, all the standard things you say when you're not winning. But then he says, I think the pitch are leaving it out. And as soon as he said that, I thought, oh, not another pitch that's going to be all boggy and just 2 of those pitches in a week, because Kings Lynn isn't going to be much better, is it? So I sort of worry, is that going to maybe go against us a little bit?
Dover have lost 6 in a row, right?
I know. Oh, mate, I know. But these, like you say it all the time, these runs come to an end.
The only thing is, they're starting to score in games. They lost 3-1 against Dagenham, 3-2 against Woking, 2-1 against Kings Lynn. They're starting to score in games where earlier in the season, losing 1-0 to Bromley, 6-0 to Grimsby. They do score in games. Our defence has become really tight. But for me, George, even if we play with 10 men, you've got to do it. You've got to be. It's
100% we have to. But you can see why certain things like the pitch would be a bit of a banana skin for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Next game then is the Tuesday, Kings Lynn away. If these 2 games were at home, I'd have put my house on 6 points, even in the National League. But Kings Lynn away, Dover away. If you're going to Kings Lynn or Dover, let us know. Again, it has to be. When do you get? I feel like we've had a bit of a tricky fixture. We're playing bottom and second to bottom in the space of a few days. What better way to build momentum after beating Hollywood FC? You know what I mean? We then have the Eastleigh game in the trophy. Now, I love the trophy, but the way momentum's going, I kind of just want to focus on the league. But we then play after that Barnet, who we beat 5-0 earlier in the season. Yes, that was okay. They had Harry Kewell in charge then. And then we have Wealdstone. For me, you want to be picking up 12 points.
Yeah. Can't expand on that anymore. We have to be. 100% have to be. My concerns are things like quality of pitch, though. That's my only concern, really. Because we know we've got the quality to beat teams like that. And I'm not being dismissive by saying that. I think a lot of the teams that we're coming up against, players and staff are saying, these are the best outfit we've come up against. And we made, what's his name again? Paul Mullin, is it? I can't remember his name because he
can't remember his name because he was that poor.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He didn't play that well. I kept him quiet, and he's some star signing, isn't he, or something?
Yeah. So, all the money in the world. Ben Tozer, how much money for a long throw? Kyle Cameron, free. Kyle Cameron's getting assists on the byline. I know going back to that Wrexham game, the guy's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, what a player.
Some of the stuff Wrexham fans are putting about Cameron was ace on Twitter. He loves it as well, doesn't he? He laps it up, all that stuff.
Yeah, and Instagram, he was literally putting their pictures up of things they'd said. So, unbelievable. Right, something else we've got to address then. Was that last night? Came out that Chesterfield had put a bid in for Cal Roberts.
Yeah.
Not happening. No way.
You know what? I think Jordan said it, and I thought it. I think they're just trying to unsettle the camp a bit.
Yeah.
And I just, why on earth? They're like a rival. They're a league rival. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, why would you sell? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, if it was 500k, would you let him go?
No.
For 500k?
No. Honestly.
Do you not think like, imagine the players that Notts could bring in for 500k?
Yeah,
I reckon they could bring 3 quality players for that.
Imagine Carl Roberts hitting the form he did at the end of his first season, going to
Yeah.
Chesterfield. That would cost you
Yeah.
more than 500k in the long run. If they had Carl Roberts the way he was playing against Barrow and Barnett in the playoffs, you're stuffed.
Yeah. But
that's a player that was dragging us back to catch Barrow.
yeah,
Literally
100%.
so
Yeah.
I wouldn't sell him for that 500k. No, definitely not.
But his mum is on she's in the Facebook group, Notts County Supporter Facebook group, and she was saying it wasn't Cal's decision. The club just turned it down instantly, but that she then followed on to say he doesn't want to leave anyway, like he's happy or not, sort of thing. So that sort of clears it up without the club really saying too much about that. But I think, I mean, it's always going to be painted that way, isn't it? But it does genuinely look like a happy bunch of players, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. The only problem is then when if Cal just doesn't start to get in the side. But I think he will.
I mean, it's. I mean, you're looking at the squad now. It's so difficult, isn't it? Because you've got Ed Francis, who's just put in an inch perfect performance. You got Vincent, who's just Vincent. He's got the energy of I don't know what. Palmer's undroppable in my opinion. On top of that, you've got then Cal and Brunt. Like, who do you choose for better or for worse? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it's a long way off, but Lewis Knight's back in a few weeks. What if he comes in and has a great game?
Exactly. Then you've got
Cairo,
exactly
Cairo
that's it.
Could do it.
Yeah, but then that's your sort of striking options, isn't it? So you've got Ruben, Wotton, Cairo, and then Knight, haven't you? Which I'm still itching to see Knight. Really, I'm not really seen anything of him, really, have we?
I feel bad for him.
He
came on in the Woking game when he shouldn't. Personally, that's the only thing I think we've really got wrong with playing wise is he shouldn't have come on in that Woking game. He wasn't ready, I don't think. Andrew says, I counter offer Chesterfield's bid with an offer for a straight shot of Tasha Manga, see what the response is. I'd say Tasha Manga and their frost covers. I would. They even had to put a minute-long video on their Twitter explaining what frost covers do to justify them asking for frost covers. And then they go and do this.
Yeah, Jordan liked that video, didn't he?
Yeah, he did like that video. Yeah, he was messaging about that, putting it in the chat and everything. So,
not happy.
No, I think I agree with you, George. Boil it down. I think they never really expected to get him. They saw a player that didn't start against Wrexham.
Just on the flip side of that, sorry,
we'll go for
before we move on, Notts did actually say that he was under the valuation, didn't they?
Did they? Yeah.
So Ian Birchall must know what they're worth to some degree.
Yeah. So Jordan does look says he's not happy one bit. Lovely. Not happy one bit about that bid from Chesterfield. He loves Cal. He does.
He woke up in a bad mood this morning, Jordan. Did he? He let us know about it.
He let us know.
He hates Chesterfield.
He does. Our squad, the way it's come together now with those loan signings, is strong. It's really strong. Like the way earlier in the season when we didn't have Frank Vincent playing, we didn't know what Frank Vincent will bring to the side. We didn't really know what we had, and now they're all playing and we know their potential. It is an unbelievable squad with momentum we could get in the next 4 games. I don't want to jinx anything, but yeah, it's good. There's a question here before we go on to our lineups. What if a struggling Championship League 1 team came with a Birchnell? I think it's different with managers. Some managers know they get one shot at getting up those leagues.
So make it count.
Yeah. I don't know. If someone came in for Birchnell, you'll be absolutely devastated, wouldn't you? Devastated. Like the football he's got us playing. I can't believe people we started off poorly.
I can't see that happening myself.
No, I hope.
I know you only get one shot. Yeah, but I genuinely believe he's here for the project, and he's talking about the long-term sort of aspect of it. The
longer a manager's at a club, the more you sort of bond with them, and the longer they are, the more they're here for the project.
He's sort of built that now, hasn't he? Not just in like every way. Like he's got. I mean, as far as I can remember, probably the best connection with the fans. I think it's fair to say, and a long while. The fist bump that he does when we win at home.
tear to your eye, doesn't it? I have to pass the tissue over to you crying.
Yeah, every time it gets me. But yeah, I just feel like he probably feels like he's built a lot of the stuff here, and it's sort of his product. And I feel like if that did happen, someone came in for him, I don't think it'd be the easiest, no, but I do feel like he'd probably be loyal to Notts. But I'm sure I've got my Notts County hat on when I say that.
Yeah, but like Ian said here, that he's got. Ian says that Bertram has a good relationship with the owners. I think he does. I think this whole club right now, he's as tight as you're going to get. The only thing with football is we lose to Dover and lose to Kings Lynn, which I don't think is going to happen, and then everyone's sort of flipped it on its head. But I think that the way it is, I saw every single person left that stadium on Sunday with the biggest smile on their face.
Other than the Wrexham fans.
Yeah, they don't count. They don't count because they were already commenting on our videos before they were even up, getting their responses ready, weren't they? Saying that there's the ref's fault. So they had excuses. They don't like that ref. They had excuses before the game even finished. So, right, George, lineups then. I'd imagine a few are back. You don't know how bad COVID's affected them. This would be a terrible. We don't know. COVID could affect the squad. I feel like this is a squad though that will play through, unless we're absolutely savaged by COVID. I think we'll play through most cases we'll get in the squad. So,
yeah, it's a good week as well for it, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
the utmost respect.
In goal, the man,
the myth,
Patterson.
What bloke!
Last Thursday, had Patterson joined us when we did this?
No, he hadn't. I don't know was it in the morning the next day?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. So Patterson in goal. Who's your back three?
Brindley.
Yeah.
Lacey.
Yeah.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Lacey kept that lad from Wrexham quiet all game.
I can't even remember his name. The lad that missed the penalty?
Mullen
or someone, yeah. Mullet. Lacey was superb. So those three at the back. Wing backs. This will be interesting. So Jaden Richardson.
Yeah.
100%. They'll keep the down by the wings. They'll make it extra money to try and slow him down. But you go in Richardson and...
I mean, I'm going to say, all being well and, COVID's over and done with, I'm going to say Joel Taylor.
Yeah, I'd agree. I really would agree. Chickson was fantastic. Like, he got the assist. He was any position. You put him in goal, I think he probably has a decent game. Chickson in goal probably saves that penalty as well, from Mullet or whatever his name is. But yeah,
Mullet.
It's got to. For me, it's got to be Taylor. And where does Parsons come into this?
60th minute, inject a bit of pace on.
I mean in the squad in general.
Right.
Yeah, Forest have signed a new fullback, so hopefully we announce the extended loan of Richardson soon. I do hope so. Midfield, then. For me, easy. The midfield three stay exactly the same.
The only thing I'd say about that, right, is I can't see, I think Zach Brunt played, if it wasn't every game, it was close to every game at Southend. I can't see why he'd want to move to Notts and not be promised majority of games for the rest of the season.
You've got a player there completely match fit.
Exactly.
100% match fit. Playing
but
well.
I agree with you. I don't see how you can drop anyone there.
And on that point, is Jim O'Brien now bottom of the pecking order for midfield? I think he is. Below everyone. As mad as that sounds. The way he finished last season, you would. I think I tweeted when I did our Twitter thing. I put 3 things. Quote this tweet with 3 things that will happen this season. We quoted with not to break the attendance record. It happened. To score 80 or more goals. Not sure what we're currently on at the minute. And for Jim O'Brien to be contender for player of the season, I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm not sure.
Some of the comments.
I know some of the comments are class. I'll just put that up and leave it up there.
Put Allen's in.
I'll try. That is true. Concerned about Lacey's back, carrying Mullins in his back pocket for 90 minutes couldn't have helped. I'm surprised he didn't come out of the game bleeding, because every game I've seen Lacey play at Med Lane, he cuts his head open or something. It's ridiculous.
Literally, yeah.
Made of paper. So we agreeing on the midfield three? Yeah.
Yeah. As I think it's going to be ever changing, and we're probably not going to be right, but I can't see how you can change it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't like to see Palmer start being in and out, because I think he's been instrumental this season. I really do. I mean, he probably doesn't get as much praise as he should, because he's just class, isn't he? Every game he set the standard for himself when he came in fairly early.
Yeah.
Non-league David Silva.
Yeah. Before we go on to the attackers, then a few people saying we scored 36 goals so far, close to getting that 80 mark that we thought we would. Not too far away from that. Attacking wise, then, assume Ruben's back. I saw Ruben, so he didn't have COVID at that point. Cairo didn't do enough for me, and Eli Sam, as great as it was to see him, I actually thought he played really well. I'd bring Ruben and Wharton back in.
Yeah, I'd agree 100%. I honestly thought Cairo was really good, though. Really good.
Yeah, who played better in that game, Cairo or Eli?
Cairo.
I'd say Eli. Genuinely would. I thought he was a little bit better.
I thought, honestly, positionally, I thought Cairo was perfect. Like, his movement was immaculate.
Yeah, a few people saying they think Francis might drop out. If Francis dropped out for Brunt, as good as Francis was, you couldn't complain, because I'm desperate to know what Brunt can bring to the side. Really,
yeah, but that's criminal, man. Ed Francis' performance against Wrexham was unbelievable.
Yeah, and I know, and Birchnell goes on a lot about players that deserve to play will play, and Ardley said that a lot, didn't he? And it never actually rang true with Ardley, unfortunately. He'd say, if they deserve to play well, they'll play, and it was Jake Reeves and Michael Dorwell every game. It was never changing. Birchnell does it. Birchnell, if players played well, they stay in the side for me, and I like that. So we come out of that game unscathed, let's say, without injuries. Do you keep the same starting 11 or not for Kings Lynn? I would mix it up a little bit, because I would if Zach Brunt didn't play, I wouldn't want him not playing again. Do you know what I mean? There's 100%. If all goes well, then there's going to be opportunities in the game for players to come on, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And this is the thing, like, we're just building that strength and depth, aren't we? And the bench, like, having options off the bench, and a lot of them.
Yeah. I mean, when our bench is full strength, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be mad. And it's actually mad when you think about Slocum not even being on the bench.
Yeah. So I thought Slocum might have come on up top. He used to play in midfield, I think. You think he said,
did.
Like when he was younger.
Yeah.
Chris said Bertrand dropped Mitchell after he scored twice. Yeah, that's the only time I can think of, and the only thing I think it was in the trophy, wasn't in the FA Cup. So, maybe that.
Yeah, I think we only get to see a tiny, minute percentage of like the true player as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, training is a huge factor, obviously, of decision making and stuff like that. I don't know.
Have you trained for tomorrow night's return of five-a-side?
I went for a run last night.
And what did you liken yourself to in the chat? What did you like yourself to after Christmas?
Oh, an oil tanker.
I think we're all going to be struggling. All of us are going to be struggling tomorrow night.
Yeah, I cannot believe. Yeah, unbelievable.
It's going to be a good one, though. It's going to be good. We'll let you know the score. There's lovely lad Jordan playing as well.
Yeah, he is. I'm trying to get him on my team. Stick him in the pegs.
We'll try and get a compilation of him in goal and put it online. Yeah. So before we go for our score predictions for the two games, you guys get thinking about your score predictions. There's no way I'm going to be able to put them all in the video. We'll do the giveaway. So hashtag Cuppa. You have literally about 20 seconds to get that in. If for any random reason it's won by another bot, then we will have to draw it again next week. But I'm hoping not. Okay, let's have a look, see if we can get this up on the screen. George, you're going to be there letting me know if it has arrived nicely on that screen. Can you see that?
Yes.
Is that up there? Okay.
It's up there.
27 entrants. Here we go. The winner is... Oh, I'm nervous here. Shane Walker has won the mug. So Shane, hopefully not a bot. If you contact us via Twitter or Instagram, that's the best way to sort it out. We gave our last few mugs away, didn't we, George? At the Wrexham game. We gave a couple of mugs away at the Wrexham game, which was really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations on winning that. So, 2 more things to do. Go through the score prediction, then look at our question. George. Dover, first of all.
3-1 Notts. I'm going to go for Vincent, Cameron, and Watson. Kings Lynn. I'm going to go 2-1 Notts, but I think it'll be an edgy game. I don't think it'll be easy. Ruben and Cal.
Yeah.
5-0 Notts both games.
You'll like that one. Callum, every episode, I think we're on episode 21, and that's the 21st time you've predicted 3-0 Chicks and hat-trick. And I will never forget when...
Didn't he miss one?
No, yeah, and then he commented on later on the video, and I really appreciate that.
You've got to respect
on our video. You've got to respect it. You're up there in the Hall of Fame, Callum. Definitely. I'm going Notts 4, Dover 1. I'm going Kyle Wootton hat-trick. And I'll say it until it happens. Matty Palmer.
Oh, what? Not a Chicks and hat-trick, no?
No, not a Chicks and hat-trick. Did you just give your Kings Lynn prediction?
Yeah, I gave them both. I said 2-1.
I'm going to go 1-0 away at Kings Lynn. I think it'll be a lot more difficult. I think there'll be about 6 inches of standing water.
Steve Cleave target man, number 9.
Number 9. That's if the game's on. That's you never know, do you? Someone put in here this rain predicted for the Dover game. I'm going to go 1-0, and I think it will be Kyle Cameron. He's due a goal, isn't he?
Yeah.
Going back on that, if you're going to predict the defender to score, in his games he's played, Richardson could have had 3 or 4 already.
He could have scored in every game he's played, yeah.
He literally could have. He could have scored in every game he's played, yeah. If there's a draw in there, not the end of the world, but you've got to be thinking we've got to pick those points up because teams above us aren't messing about lately, are they?
No.
Right, George, the big question here. Can you give me the results? So, the question we put tonight was, do you put hot water on your windscreen to get the ice off? If you're late for work, do you think maybe I'll just fill up a water bottle with hot water? What's the percentage, George?
It's 16% and 84%. But which way do you think it's gone?
I think people have said they don't put hot water on the windscreen.
The majority. Yeah. 84% never. 16% of course.
Do you?
What camp are you in, Tom?
This morning, out of bed 10 minutes late, rushing around, look out the bedroom window, ice everywhere.
Imagine though, right? Let me just say this. Imagine there's a tiny crack in your windscreen you've never seen before. You do that, your windscreen cracks, massive crack in your windscreen, can't go anywhere. You're late for work.
Yeah, but on the plus side, then
you'll have to pay your excess to get your windscreen repaired. Mate, it's a nightmare.
I'd wake up the next morning.
It takes 2 minutes.
I'd wake up the next morning without frost on my windscreen, though, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
So it's a win-win situation. Personally, this morning I put hot water on windscreen. Not hot. I go, Chris, mildly warm. It wasn't boiling hot. It was mildly warm. But I will say, I got back in. It started to refreeze, and then you've got a nightmare. And you sat there with the neighbours looking out the window, laughing at you. Pointing at you. They don't even go to work. They're retired, and they're laughing at me in the slippers. So I agree with those 16%. I think you're brave, and it spices life up a little bit. Definitely does. Okay, so Shane, you've got 1 week to contact us for the mug. If not, it gets redrawn next week. Thank you for everyone that's watched. Unbelievable numbers tonight. It shows level of positivity. Next week, hopefully, you all join us again with 6 more points on the board. Who knows where we'll be in the league? Who knows if Zach Brunt will have played? Hopefully he's played and we're literally singing his praises. we're pushing for that 2,000 subscribers by the end of the season. It's our goal. We've hit 5,000 views in the video, which is one of our other goals. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like the video because it pushes that to as many people. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone, especially if you are traveling to Dover.